questions, but Marisela has really connected a lot of communities, like the Women's Building, I mean, downtown LA, you know, the punk rock scene, East LA. Talk about how you connected all those different communities together.
Making a lot of flyers. I mean, that's just seriously. It's interesting because I was writing, you know, well, I'll give you the short version of a really long, sordid story. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
It's not, right? Okay, doesn't matter. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was a student at Cal State LA. Is it? This one's on? I was a student here at Cal State, and I was an English major, like a shiny little penny. I was going to be just an English major and blah, 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 blah. So I was taking a class in interpreting poetry with a professor who I actually forgot his name.
Was it Henry Collette?
Yeah.
Was it Timothy Steele?
Yeah. This is the 70s. This is before you were born. It was the 70s. Anyway, so I turned in my paper and it came back with a bunch of red marks on it. And he gave me an F. And the F was like, okay, you know, maybe I can do it over. But he wrote a question on it, and he asked me if I was illiterate.
Yeah.
So my little shiny penny never came back to Cal State LA. I dropped out, but I had a bus pass. I had a student bus pass. And every day I would get dressed in my school college girl drag and get on a different bus and just write and hang out and take pictures and sit in really sad coffee house, not coffee house, this is before coffee, donut shops, okay? Before they became like casinos. Now they're like, every donut shop in East LA is like a casino. There's all these grandmas in there with scratchers and it's really kind of beautiful. But anyway, what was your question again about?
Well, you know, because I know you.
Oh,
the
different
the
communities.
Women's Building, the
Yes,
punk rock
yes,
scene,
yes.
East Side, all the above.
So I answered an ad in the LA Reader, which was this kind of throwaway newspaper like the LA Weekly, but it was called the LA Reader, and there was a little ad in the back, and it said Latino Writers Workshop. And so I'm begging my father, give me a ride to 7th and Spring, and he's like, ¿Qué es esta bola de marihuanos? And you know, like he was not going to drop his daughter off at 8 o'clock at night on 7th and Spring. This is before the dog walkers, the cute restaurants. It's a very different downtown, very, very different downtown. So I went, and who do I meet? I meet Luis Rodriguez. I meet Elena Viramontes, Naomi Quiñones, Victor Valle, Marisela Norte. And they sat there and they listened to me read my 3 sad poems, and they said, where have you been? You need to be here with us. You know, I was like, oh my God. Rodriguez and I were smoking cigarettes on the roof, you know, and oh, it was a beautiful time. And so I started going to this workshop, which led me to a reading I did at Self-Help Graphics, which was kind of met with mixed reviews because there was some very hardcore, this is Chicano poetry, you know, there's a virgen, there's a chanta, there's a tamal, and that's it. I was not writing about that kind of stuff. And so that kind of made me take a left turn, and I started hanging out with the likes of Gronk and Patsy and Harry, and started kind of doing things with OSCO and writing plays and doing performance. And then after that broke up, led me to working by myself, you know, working with a musician, did a reading at the Women's Building, and that led me to, I mean, just everything just led to the next gig.
That's where Session Foster says he met you, the Women's Building.
Did he really? Oh my goodness. That's like 80s, that's around this time. I'm judging by the hair and the earrings, okay? Which I still have. So yeah, so that, and then that led me to reading Elizabeth Exene, and then Dave Alvin, and like the music people, like, and again, Harvey Kubernick, who was everywhere, you know, and he was putting a lot of people together. He did a record called the Black and Tan Club, and it was African American and Latino writers on a spoken word CD. Wow, a spoken word CD. I hadn't had anything published, and they asked me, do you want to record something for this? No, of course I do. Yes, yeah, I want to do this. That led to something he did called Disclosure of Voices of Women, which is all women on this record, which is everybody from Michelle Clinton to Wanda to Tequila Mockingbird, Pleasant Gayman, Iris Berry, Nicole Panter, all these different voices. And then that led to me doing one by myself, and then, 25 years later, I published my first book. So, yeah, but I mean, it's interesting. Luis Alfaro and I did a gig at Self-Help Graphics once, and I remember him taking his clothes off, and he's wearing a full-length black lace slip. And about 25% of the audience left. They were freaking out. They really were. And he's like, Marisela, thank you for inviting me here. And it's almost like I would do gigs with him, which exposed me to a queer audience, and I got him into like the hard, whatever audience I had. So we just kept trading, and that's what you do. It's like changing buses. But anyway, so this is my Union Station poem. I'm calling it's called Train of Thought. If you ever get lost, she told us once, just get yourself to Union Station and you'll know how to get home. Find a calendar, put on a blindfold, and pick a year, any year, and there will always be a picture of me standing alone inside Union Station. In 1982, I stood poised and camera ready, my picture taken before crisscrossing sidewalks that led to Chinatown, Madame Wong's, Flora's, nightcaps at Yimi Lu, and always a shortcut chaser through Olvera Street before making my way back. Dropping dimes inside the dark wooden booths, heavy with conversation. If this grand station was a sacred place, then these rows of public telephones were the city's confessionals. Inside, I waited for answers, a ride home. Every morning, I wait for the light to change my mind. Every morning, it is never the same. The numbers change like the exchange rates on romance, survival, and a cup of coffee. I steady myself as if I were driving or already on a moving train going somewhere outside of this self. Just one of thousands of extras, all of us supporting players in this, the ultimate magical reality show, the Los Angeles Public Transit Story, where we have been cast as strangers on the same train of thought inside Union Station. Everyone, all of us, are going somewhere while standing perfectly still. We wait for a train, for a seat, the hooded, the button down, the skateboard, the briefcase, the generic plastic bag carried by all of us, holding some extension of the other self as we move through this vast station, my favorite freeway in the city of Los Angeles. If you ever get lost, her voice trails off. A girl in a green t-shirt and a pair of black Converse sneakers is hunched over a textbook instead of a cell phone. Those same sneakers I wore as a child pretending to be William Holden, running up and down the long corridor of Union Station, a victim of the late show. Those same corridors, the polished footsteps, are my stage left. And today, Union Station becomes the knot in the throat of Los Angeles, where we in the thousands walk past, in between, over, way out, and under. Invisibly, we go hand in hand, silently knitting words, breaking the language barrier on a slow-moving train, searching for artifacts from 1959, 1978, 1982, and next year. Early in the morning, I see an orange rind left at the foot of the steps of Union Station. The orange rind has begun to curl in the Los Angeles sunshine, like the red cellophane fortune-telling fish we bought as kids on surprise trips to Chinatown. It curls a little to the left, as if to say, you will make your train. Good bus karma is yours today, if you ever get lost. Walking through this vast station movie backdrop, I'm a 70s cop show extra. I'm the woman on the red line wearing all three of the Supremes wigs at the same time. I'm the one you want to sit next to. I ask myself, what year will it be today? Take the blindfold off and tell us where you were going and who you were wearing on the night of the midnight railway mass. Memory reflected inside the abandoned telephone booth where the portraits hang down the long, shiny corridor where your voices speak. Cool California tiles soothe your sore throat, Los Angeles. A full moon is waiting in the empty seat next to you. Every day I count 100 faces to keep my balance. I make room for a birthday cake from Clifton's. the sound of a train whistle, signaling. Adjusting the narrative's hemline, I take my place alongside the extras, all of us poised and camera ready. Finally, there is movement, the crisscross from purple to red line, from Inland Empire to Central Valley, and back inside Union Station, where I steady myself and prepare the imaginary questionnaire. I mark the area code switch, forever armed with a pocket full of dimes, so I can keep talking to you, Los Angeles. It is your fragile geography I carried in see-through bags since 1955. Listening for the sound of your voice reminded me that if I ever get lost, in private and on paper, this is how I walk, this is how I wander. The only way to really know Los Angeles is by counting footsteps, I say. Sometimes I tell myself I am traveling. Thank you.